Hey, what's up my friends? My name is Bill. Welcome to Cars That Last. On today's video, the top 10 least satisfying cars under $6,000. So the other day I was reviewing the 2005 issue of the Consumer Reports Auto issue. Every year Consumer Reports magazine sends out surveys to their readers. They send out thousands of surveys. In those surveys, their readers respond with which cars are the most satisfying and which are the least satisfying. Now, I recently did a video on the top 10 most satisfying cars that last 300,000 miles. What prompted me to do both of these videos is I was interested in seeing how relevant this information is. Are the Consumer Reports magazines on track? And will the most satisfying cars last longer than the least satisfying cars? In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 vehicles of the least satisfying car category and how they performed from a mileage standpoint. And spoiler alert, if you've already seen the top 10 most satisfying cars, you already know the answer to this. Now, before I get a whole bunch of hateful comments, if you already own one of these vehicles, this information might help you determine how long it might make sense to keep your car. If you are in the market for a used vehicle under $6,000, the list of the most satisfying vehicles and the least satisfying vehicles might help you determine which would be the best bet for you. At the end of this video, I will also share with you a complete list of all of the cars and how they did. There actually were a few surprises, and you'll see those at the end of the video. And reminder, if you are in the market for a cheap vehicle, I wrote a book called Should You Buy a Cheap Car? It's free and it's available on the download below. So feel free to check that out. All right, so with that being said, let's get into the top 10 least satisfying cars. Car number 10 is the Chevy Cavalier and Pontiac Sunfire. They were built on the same frame. Years in the study range from 1993 to 2005. You can still see a few of these vehicles on the road. 6.5% of these vehicles had more than 200,000 miles. One Cavalier, a 2005 model, actually did hit 310,000 miles. Again, it's not a very common vehicle to see at higher mileage. The last year for the Cavalier was 2005. These cars are known to have lots of electrical issues. I remember back in 1998, I was in need of a car and they had a really cheap lease on a Pontiac Sunfire and I took it for a test drive. Man, was that uncomfortable. And these cars are also known for rusting out. Vehicle number 9 is the Dodge Neon. Years in the study range from 1998 to 2005. 5.8% of vehicles had more than 200,000 miles. The last year for the Dodge Neon was 2005. These vehicles also had a number of known problems, including transmission failures, engine failures, and rusting out. Car number 8 is the Mitsubishi Lancer. Years in the study range from 2002 to 2015. The last year for the Lancer was 2017. 5.5% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. The Lancer is the first of 3 cars in the top 10 to have depreciated less than $6,000 in 5 years. I'm shooting this video in January of 2020. A brand new Lancer would have cost at least $20,000 in 2015. So if you bought a Lancer in 2015 brand new and you put some miles on it, it's not even worth $6,000. That's some significant depreciation. Car number 7 is the Dodge Stratus. Years in the study range from 1995 to 2006. 4.85% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. The Stratus is also known for lots of engine problems, especially engine sludge in early 2000 models. In the early 2000s, Dodge really struggled with some of their quality issues on a number of vehicles. Car number 6 is the Mitsubishi Outlander. Years in the study range from 2002 to 2015. The Outlander is one of only 2 vehicles in this top 10 that's still a new model in 2020. Only 4.83% of Outlanders lasted more than 200,000 miles. That's a significant number. You know, I did a study and included the Outlander in the top 5 midsize SUVs that last 300,000 miles. The midsize SUV category has a number of reliable SUVs that can make it to 300,000 miles. What's a little bit concerning to me is a brand new Outlander starts at $25,000 up to $40,000 as a sticker price in 2020. This is another vehicle that can depreciate to under $6,000 in 5 years. In this study, the Outlander didn't even have any vehicles above even 250,000 miles. Just for fun, I checked the comments from the 2019 issue of Consumer Reports magazine. They said it doesn't handle well and acceleration is lackluster. My Might be a reason why it depreciates so much. Car number 5 is the Suzuki Grand Vitara. Years in the study range from 1999 to 2012. 2012 was the last year for Suzuki vehicles being sold in the United States. 4.44% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. Like the Outlander, I've seen a lot more SUVs do much better in long-term mileage studies. Car number 4 is the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Years in the study range from 1993 to 2012. There were 0 of these vehicles at 300,000 miles. 4.39% had more than 200,000 miles. Car number 3 is a Saturn Ion. Years in the study range from 2003 to 2007. Reminder that Saturn stopped production in 2010. 3.6% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles and 0 at above 300,000 miles. Car number 2 is the Chrysler Sebring. Years range up to 2008. The last year for the Sebring was in 2010. 3% of Sebrings had more than 200,000 miles. In the top 10, the Sebring had the second most vehicles for sale under $6,000 with over 1,000 vehicles. Early 2000s also shared the same problem as the Dodge Stratus. The 2.7-liter V6 has been well known for engine sludge, in addition to lots of other Chrysler and Dodge problems. And vehicle number 1, can you guess it? It's the Nissan Sentra. What? Now, before I get a whole bunch of hate mail, I know that there are a few Sentras out there that can hit more than 300,000 miles. I've seen them, and you've sent me pictures of them. So why is the Sentra here? That's a great question. Only 2.8% of vehicles had above 200,000 miles. The Sentra did have 2 vehicles above 300,000 miles, and the highest was a 2007 model with 340,000 miles. Years in the study range from 1995 to 2015. Again, this is the third vehicle that is depreciated from $20,000 to under $6,000 in just 5 years. There are over 1,400 vehicles currently for sale across the United States for the Nissan Sentra under $6,000. One of the reasons why these are the least satisfying vehicles in the Consumer Reports issue in 2019, they said that the ride was stiff and the driving experience was ho-hum. And it's also a slow vehicle. And don't forget, if you're looking for a 2013 to 2017 Nissan Sentra, there is a class action lawsuit for the continuously variable transmission. That is a very well-known problem with those transmissions, and they are known to fail. I've got some additional statistics I think you'll find interesting. Are there some least satisfying vehicles that have lasted up to 300,000 miles? The Ford Ranger was on this list. That had 18% of vehicles above 200,000 miles. That's a respectable number. That also includes the Mazda B series. The Chevy Trailblazer came in at 17%. On a lot of my videos, I've noticed that the trucks and the SUVs do much better than just cars. The Dodge Caravan 4-cylinder came in at 15%, and the Lincoln Aviator came in at about 12%. One more quick fact, out of these 18 cars, only 2 of these vehicles are still being produced. The Outlander and the Sentra. And of course, the Ford Ranger did start production back up in 2019 after a several-year hiatus. So is Consumer Reports right? If you compare the vehicles in the most satisfying category versus the least satisfying category, to me, there does seem to be a correlation between being satisfied with the car that you drive and longevity. And certainly reliability has a lot to do with that. And for newer cars in 2019, let me give this list. I think you're also going to find this surprising. Now, the least satisfying vehicles in 2019 include the Acura ILX, the Cadillac ATS, the Fiat 500L, the Fiat 500X, the Infiniti QX30, Land Rover Discovery Sport, Lexus IS, Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Sentra, and the Nissan Versa. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me. Curious to know what your thoughts are on these cars. Feel free to put some comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Namaste.